talk basketball on this week's show. We begin with women's basketball, off to a 5-2 start, and junior wing Bria Bass is with us. You guys are playing really well. It's got to be exciting after only 2 wins last year to already have 5 this year. New coaching staff. It's refreshing, isn't it?
Yes, it's amazing to have everybody out there. We're actually having fun this year, and we're playing for each other, which is something new, and just sticking together.
So you go down to your home state of Georgia and play against Mercer. You hit the big shot in overtime to win that one. That'd be fun to be back in the Peach State.
It was to have all my family and friends there and to just hit the big shot, and knowing that my teammates and my coaches had the confidence in me to step up and knock down the shot.
You're averaging around 12 points a game. That's the leader on the team. But the thing that sticks out to me in the games that I've been able to see is that you never know where your point production is going to come from. Everybody is contributing.
Yes, it feels great to have everybody contributing from the starting 5 to the bench, and it's like a defensive nightmare because everybody 1 through 5 can score on the floor.
What's the difference with Coach Sam Williams and her staff? To me, just watching from afar, is you're really committed defensively and you cause problems. But how have you sensed how this team's different? Where has the change come?
From the coaching staff standpoint, they're more positive. They keep us uplifted and keep us pushing through. And then teammate-wise, we stick together. It's like we're one unit on the floor. And even when things aren't going our way, you can never tell because we try to stay unified and play together.
The one other thing that this Eastern Kentucky team has done is own the fourth quarter. And you were ahead the last game out against Chattanooga this past Sunday. You went out to an 8-0 lead, and then all of a sudden they catch you, and it's back and forth. Then you fall down like 7 points. I thought, oh no, here comes the fourth quarter again. How is the team doing it in the fourth quarter?
Our mental toughness. And then we have leaders on the floor, and we have Coach Sam letting us know that everything's all right. Like, we're still in this game. Like, we have it together. We just have to play our game and know how we can play and make the extra passes. And that's what we do. And each and every person in the fourth quarter scores.
I think the thing about your game, Bria, that's so good is you can step out and hit the three, but you also have moves in the low post. Does Coach want you to be both an inside and outside player?
Yes, and I'm so grateful for her this year and to have her as my coach because she has made me become more aggressive. Instead of just settling for the three, now I can drive. She makes me want to drive, shoot the jump shot, or post up. So I pretty much can do all three.
Seems like this team has more depth in the post too, which helps a lot.
Yes, we have like 3 or 4 guards that can play the 3 and the 4. Then we have some guards like Shay who can post, Aaliyah, which is a post, but she can step out and knock down the 3. So it's just amazing.
The men's team, and I know A.W. Hamilton will be on the show later, and he'll talk about too many turnovers. Coach still harping on cut the turnovers down?
Yes, we're trying. We're trying to cut back on silly turnovers. Like, some of them, we're not going to play a perfect game, but if we can cut it down to at least 10, then I feel like we'll be fine.
Still a nursing major?
No, I changed to health service administration.
Did you? So what do you want to do with that?
I want to run a hospital, but once I graduate, I want to go back to nursing.
You live in the Atlanta area.
Mm-hmm.
You told me when you go home, things have always changed, right? I mean, it's never the same.
Yes.
How did you end up at EKU, and why up here, and how do you like being a colonel?
I love being a colonel. Coach Rob recruited me, and I ended up here. Then I also have family up here. My grandfather graduated from here, so he's an alum, and awesome. I just like the atmosphere. It's a family atmosphere up here. Everybody knows everybody, and they're big on sports, so I love it.
Was it tough going through a coaching change, or did you, because it was tough last year, did you relish it and say, okay, I'm going to not run away from it, but accept it and accept this new challenge?
It was hard just because I didn't meet Coach Sam because I was sick. But after talking to her and meeting the other coaches, I felt a different vibe and atmosphere from them. So I just embraced it and embraced the position that she wanted me to be in and the type of player that she wanted me to be. Conference
starts in early January. We got some tough games before then.
Yes.
You excited?
I am. I feel like this is really going to show how we're built.
Okay, it was great catching up with you again. I think we did this your freshman year.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, appreciate it. Bria Bass on the EKU basketball team, and it's a busy week for the Colonels. Tuesday at home, it's a 7 o'clock tip against Youngstown State. Then The next 2 Sundays, they're on the road against Xavier of the Big East in Cincinnati, and then a week from Sunday against Vanderbilt of the SEC down in Nashville. The next home game will be the tip-off to the OVC season on January 2nd. When we come back, the football season is over, but boy, the tradition lingers at EKU, and we'll meet one great tight end. He's now in the EKU Hall of Fame.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Patrick Bugg was an All-America in both 2005 and 2006 for the football team, one of only 7 to do it in EKU history back-to-back. And man, it seems like time flies. You were just here catching passes for the Colonels.
I know, it's crazy to be back on campus and to think it's been that long, but it's good to be back.
I look at your totals. 1,856 yards, 112 catches, 23 for touchdowns. You go back and think about some of those big games. You had that game-winning catch against Southeast Missouri at the end from Josh Greco. That's a good memory.
Oh yeah, that was exciting. We didn't think we would be able to pull it out, and Josh did his thing and gave me a chance, so it was really fun.
You came out of that Harrodsburg pipeline that's brought a lot of great Colonels. Jason Dunn, who was another great tight end, and Nicky East and Gus Parks and Mark Dunn, and on we go. But how did you kind of morph your way into being a tight end? That's a specialty position on the football field.
Right. Coach Kidd originally brought me in to play quarterback, and then we had the coaching change. Coach Hope came in, and throughout my freshman year as a scout team player, I played receiver. So from there, Coach Hope came in, saw something he liked, and asked me if I'd be willing to change, and whatever we needed at the time. So,
what does it mean to get your degree from EKU? Kind of, you grow up when you become an athlete and you go to college, and it's a maturity time. When you look back now over 10 years ago, what impact did it have on you?
Well, I can definitely look back and say that I'm proud to have come from EKU. I've learned a lot. I use the things and the connections from here all the time, still know people, and it's good to look back and being back on campus and seeing how things have changed. I'm really proud to have come from here.
You meet your wife here, who played basketball here. Now you're in the U.S. Navy and a family, so tell me about what you're doing now and tell me about your kids.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. At the time, I met my wife, and we ended up having our first daughter. I have 4. So we've traveled around a lot since I've joined. Doing IT work is good. I enjoy it. Definitely a lot harder jobs I could be doing in the Navy, so I lucked out there. And it's been a real blessing to be able to travel around and see different things. My kids have got to see a lot. Yeah, but it all stems back from here. Met my wife and all that here, so definitely a lot of pride.
We use that term with EKU football, matter of pride. That's not a hollow term, is it?
Oh no, definitely. You can run into anybody who's come through this program, and that's one thing you're going to get out of them is how proud they are to be a part of the lineage and the traditions that EKU has.
It's great to see you. Congratulations on going into the Hall.
Thanks so much.
All right, Patrick Bugg, former tight end at EKU, now in the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a rising star. Be a hero. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Men's basketball tomorrow night on the road. As a matter of fact, on the road a lot here in the month of December. A.W. Hamilton joins us now. 9 days between games after the 2 losses out in D.C. What did your team work on, and what did you feel like you improved on during practices?
Well, first thing, it was great to have Peyton and Houston back in practice, so that was refreshing, and hope to have both those guys in the game tomorrow night. But again, Stotts, I know we've been talking about it all year. We got to take care of the basketball. You know, we're 27th in the country in turnover margin. Imagine if we would just take care of the basketball. We're turning people over. We're getting extra possessions, but we're still careless with it. So we've been working on that. And then, listen, our last game versus Cleveland State, we just got killed on the backboard. We got to rebound. And part of our problem, too, Stotts, and you know us better than me probably, we got to keep Trey King on the floor. He's leading our team in fouls. You know, he's only playing 20 minutes. We got to have him out there 28, 32 minutes a game.
Trey sometimes almost seems like he has a retaliation foul, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but something goes wrong and he'll come back and foul. But on the other hand, it almost seems like he gets some tough calls, the 50-50 calls.
He did, and listen, I'm not a referee. If I was, I wouldn't be very good. But he had a couple calls in D.C. where he's just trying to post a guy up and gets called for hooking a guy. And, you know, I mean, he's playing hard and being physical. So you're right, some of those fouls I kind of scratch my head on too.
Jamaro Brown. We know how much he can score. He just could not find the basket in D.C., and his assist turnover ratio is not good right now. So what's the message to Jamaro to become a complete player?
Just share, make simple plays. You know, that's it. You know, he does that, he becomes a really good basketball player because he's an elite scorer. You know, just make simple plays. You know, just make the simple. See, what teams are doing, Stotts, they're clogging and plugging every gap he drives in. So when they plug in you know, that gap, he's just got to kick it out. Just make a simple play.
As far as having Peyton Broughton, who's missed all year with the knee injury, coming back through his rehab, and then Houston King with the bone bruise, they both can shoot pretty well. So that could maybe loosen things up if you can get them on the court and get them some minutes.
No question, it's really going to help us. Peyton Broughton is tough. He brings toughness. He's a competitive kid. And then Houston is a very talented player, can really make shots. Both those guys can make shots. So just having them both is going to really give us a boost.
How much focus do you put on the record, which is hovering around 500, versus knowing that all these games they're not exhibition games, they count, W or L, but yet you start with 4 games early January, all at home in the OVC?
Yeah, listen, we're taking it one game at a time, but obviously our preseason schedule, it's tough. It's a tough non-conference schedule. It's very tough, but it's going to get us ready for league play. We got to keep just getting better and fixing little things, you know, rebounding, not turning the ball over, you know, getting our assist to turnover ratio a little bit better, and we'll be ready for league play.
If I counted 5 of the next 6 games before league play are all on the road. You play Charleston Southern right before Christmas here. It begins with USC Upstate, a team that you beat by 2 last year. Their top scorer gone. Of course, Nick Mayo is gone for EKU. Upstate struggled a bit, even though they played U of L pretty well. We're ahead of the Cardinals 43-40 until U of L had a big run. So what about Upstate?
Listen, they're going to play really hard. They're scrappy. They're a tough team. They just haven't figured out how to win the game yet. And let's don't be that team. You know, but look, Cleveland State, the thing that disappointed me is what we are, Stotts. We're a tough, scrappy, pressing, in-your-face type of team, and they beat us at our own game. we got to get back to who we are. So tomorrow night's a huge opportunity for us.
And the tour around the Commonwealth continues on Sunday night up in Highland Heights against Northern Kentucky. New coach there. It's always an in-state game. Nick Mayo hit a game winner last year at the end, so I know the Norse will be ready for the Colonels. What about NKU?
They got a great team. They're off to a great start. Darren Horn does a tremendous job. He did a tremendous job at Western Kentucky and South Carolina. So they'll be a well-coached team. It'll be a huge challenge for us.
A couple of Kentucky high school legends. Darren Horn played over in Lexington. You played at Scott County. And then on the Saturday after the Sunday game at U of L, and obviously we know the Cards may be, depending on what happens, could be number one in the country when you play them. So that Kentucky tour just rolls along, doesn't it?
It keeps on going. Listen, I hope they're number one. We didn't do so good versus the number 2 team. So hopefully they're number one.
All right. Well, good luck this week on the road. Again, pack your bags, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right. That's A.W. Hamilton. Here's what's ahead for the Colonels. It'll be a 6 o'clock tip in Spartanburg, South Carolina on Tuesday night. We'll have the coverage at 100.7 FM. You can catch the stream at EKUsports.com and on the TuneIn app as well. Then the Colonels a 7 o'clock tip on Sunday night against NKU, and then a week from Saturday, a noon tip against the Cardinals of the University of Louisville. That does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. Like and follow Colonel Athletics on all of the social media pages. And as always, go Big E.